What is going on, everyone? It's your boy, the Anime Shed. We are back with a actually requested video of the deck profile I use for my Yamato build. Now, this is the current Yamato build I have. People are going to say it's very event light, and yes, it is, but I'm not going to run a lot of event cards in this. So obviously we're starting off with the Yamato leader. She's got the double attack, not to mention when your opponent has 3 or less lives, you can attach 2 Rested Don to any of your characters. That does not include the Yamato, which is unfortunate. It'd be nice to be able to put on the Yamato, especially if you get that Onami and put the Banish, or if you're running Zeus in the deck. But then next off we have the secret rare from OP01, Yamato. Now I only have 2 of these in there, not a playset. Basically because I actually only have 2 of these in real life for my deck, and I like to play decks that I'll actually play. But also because it is easy to get rid of, only being a 5,000 power and 5 cost. But she does have lives, more lives. It's literally pure double attack, pure banish. So it is, because we're playing against like a black deck, they will minus it off the board. Purple will probably try and minus it off the board. Blue will bottom deck it. It's going to happen. But definitely all swings in one shot. Then you've got the 10 cost Dofi, which is fantastic for the reason that you can literally on play, you can get 3 of their characters rested for an entire turn, providing they are already rested. So it won't work if they're not, but definitely a banger of a card. Veggie is a staple in any yellow deck. His trigger effect is absolutely insane. Stops an opponent from attacking, so definitely a good one to have. Not to mention, if he's in hand, he's a 2000 counter as well. Next, we have the Sanji. Again, another one that you basically want to have in your deck. He triggers, which is fantastic, and of search as well. We've got the Rushanel. Now, rush cards are decent to have in the deck. Definitely good. This has had a slight change as well. The Haughty Jones was in here. I've swapped it out. We've got 4 of the Ohm. Obviously, the Ohm Holly combo is fantastic. We've got Satori, again, for trigger effect. Definitely something that is good to have. Then we go over to the Holly, which, yeah, Holly and Ohm, you need the combo. Onami, definitely, if you're going to run this Yamato deck, I do highly recommend you having a playset of Onami in here, because this Onami card attaches Banish, not to mention with Yamato's ability of attaching 2 Rested Don, you can actually use Onami as a secret, like a sneaky swinger. So you can attach the 2 Rested Don and get another 5k swing in, which can really help you. The Hiyori, so this one here, so you may put the top or bottom life card into your hand and then add one. This is actually fantastic. So on play, when you drop her, you can take the top or bottom life card, and then you can attach something from your hand. So for argument's sake, a Sanji or a Veggie or a Brule, something with a good trigger that you could use. So I should probably have a playset of this in there, but having 0 attack, the only other good feature it has is the 2000 counter, but you kind of want to play this card in order to get that ability. It is handy to drop a, or even a Satori, drop a Satori to the top of your life. Next up we have the Momonosuke, which is good because you can bounce. You can use this to bounce the Hiyori back to hand, and then use her again, which is always good. So say you put a life on top, you bounce back, you take the bottom life, you can put another trigger on top of that, so you've got 2 triggers back to back. Definitely good to have. Not to mention he is a 6k blocker at a 5 cost. We've got the Brule, which again, trigger, it's literally play this card. So you put it on the field, and say they're going in for the kill. We've got the 7 cost Big Mum, which is out of the starter deck. It's basically just trash a life, gain a life. Handy to have. Handy to have. We got Punk Gibson, which is the first of our event cards. The trigger is rest up to one of your opponent's characters, which is handy to have. Again, good trigger to get. And then it gives you, for a cost of 2, 4,000 power during this battle, and then you can rest one of the opponent's characters cost of 4 or less. So if they're going through and you use this counter, you can rest one of their opponents, one of your opponents, and then potentially stop another attack. Amaru is a staple, not so much for the trigger effect, although it has saved me a couple of times, but more so you can add 3,000 power to a character, and you can rest a 4 cost character or less if you have 1 life left. When you play yellow, there's a lot of times you will only have 1 life on the board. Definitely good, because if you play, say, double Amaru, and they got 2 blockers that are like 4 cost or less, you can rest them both and add 3k to 2 different characters. Absolutely fantastic. We have this is a new event card. So again, if you have 0 life cards, you can attach a life card from the top of your deck and then trash 1 card. good for yellow for a trigger effect, but then you may trash one card from hand and your leader or character gains 3,000. It's handy, it's a 0 cost, it's basically the Bad Manners kick course, so that's a red card, but for yellow. And then we have Reject, which is really good. So main, you can choose one of the following. You can K up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, which is handy to have, especially if you're going in for the win. And then if your opponent has 1 life, deal 1 damage to them, and then add the top life card from yours to your hand. So what it will do, if they've got 1 life, you can literally get rid of that life. So if you're going in for the win, and say you've got 1 life left as well, you're going in for the win, you take that life from them, then they've got to trash it. Then you can use your life and get it to hand and potentially have a card you need to take the game. So this is the deck profile I run. I hope that was informative for you. But anyway, I'm your boy, the Anime Shed. Like I said, this was from request. The only change here is I don't have the Haughty Jones in here anymore. I did take it out. I don't remember what I replaced it with. Haughty Jones is good, but taking that life to hand sometimes isn't the best thing to do, unless you are going for the win. He is a rush, so if you play him, get a life to hand, it could be a card that you do need. Anyway, peace out. I'm your boy, the Anime Shed. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you smash the like button. And as always, say hi to your mum for me.